Welcome back to the morning show. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome to the second hour of our time together. Now, with Dewpoint entering into its 8th year of operation this year, and back for the second time with us here on TMS this morning, we're going to further explore how Dewpoint is permanently changing the financial circumstances of South Africans and why you and I should be really taking them seriously. As a licensed financial service provider and partner with some of the biggest insurers in the South African financial sector, Dewpoint is in the business of creating recurring monthly income for South Africans who partner with it. And we have senior executive and founder Brendan Benfield with us again this morning. Welcome back, Brendan. It's so good to have you back.
Thank you, Corsi. Thank you for having me back.
It's so good to talk about this because I think it's such an important thing. There's so many people looking for ways to be able to grow their income. Let's maybe start in terms of reflecting since the last time you were here last year, how things have been going for Dewpoint and growth since 2022.
Well, we've had an absolutely incredible 12 months. No small thanks to you guys and how the morning show assisted us last year in getting our message out to South Africans. And what we saw was really South Africans being able to be rewarded for hard work. Now, if you think about the history of South Africa, the vast majority of South Africans have not been rewarded for their hard work. It's often why South Africans are anti-working hard because they don't see the reward. But what we got to see reflected last year was South Africans beginning to be rewarded for something that was as a result of their hard work. And that brings us a tremendous sense of pride and a tremendous sense of pleasure in seeing the objectives of Dewpoint being met in this process.
And I think that's a beautiful, healthy environment that's been created through this process where people are actually passionate about the work that they do. Now, tell us about how the changing of lives occurs, because I think it's one thing to be able to see the hard work and getting some sort of income or payback from it, but tell us about how it's actually changing lives.
That's a critical question because people often asking the question, is it worth it? Is Dewpoint one of these things? Because we're not a traditional employment kind of business, so that question comes up. So we analyze it every day. We look at it and we say, are we delivering on the promises that we're making to create an asset-based monthly recurring income for South Africa?
That's good.
And we look at it at a micro level, we look at it at a macro level. Last year in particular, we looked at those that joined us, we call them wealth engineers. Were they able to join us and create an income? Some created a small income, some created a large income. We even had some come in that were under debt review, drowning in debt, and within the 12 months clear all their debt, get out of debt review, and have gone on to buy motor cars and houses.
Wow.
All of these testimonies, well, not all of them, but a lot of these testimonies we've put on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, for South Africans to see, because it's the proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
We're saying we're going to create income, but are we actually doing it? Well, the best way we can show it is through the testimony of others.
Yeah.
On a more macro level, we look at what is happening to the people that are watching us. We've got lots of people watching Dewpoint but not getting involved. And we look at what's happening to the people that are getting involved with us at a group level. And what we're seeing is something that's just not happening anywhere else in South Africa. We're starting to see people get hope again.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting. You think about the dark times we're living in. I mean that both literally and figuratively, with the lights going off all the time. We're living in dark times. People just hear about the negative economy, rises in interest rates, loss of jobs. You come to Dewpoint, you just see these little lights coming on as people start to realize, I'm in control. I actually have control back with Dewpoint. I can create an income that's mine. I can't be fired from it. I can't be retrenched from it. It cannot be taken away from me. And what I build in my life, I will give to my children and they can carry on afterwards. At a macro level, we're seeing aspiration again. People are starting to go, hang on, I can actually achieve the things I dreamt about as a child but gave up on.
Yeah.
And it might sound flippant, but that's actually what we see in the buildings of Dewpoint.
Because a lot of people are giving up because they don't feel like they're able to achieve these goals.
Absolutely. And just meeting our objectives as Dewpoint, it's a tremendously satisfying experience.
That's phenomenal. And you speak about wealth engineers. The name itself makes you feel like, oh my goodness, this sounds really hectic. Talk me through what that looks like and what the cost is, again, to be able to get people to be involved in this. How do you build people's lives through this process?
Well, it's 269 Rand a month. And if you think about it, it's rather a negligible cost for starting something that's your own.
Yeah.
But being a wealth engineer is a specific title we've given to anybody who joins us at Dewpoint, because they have the ability now to engineer their own wealth. This is not one of those things that just earns you a little bit of money on the side, like a hobby thing. We're quite determined that this should be a career choice for South Africans. At the moment, we see traditional jobs just absolutely vanishing. What do we give South Africans as an alternative? Well, if we look at the rest of Africa and what's happening in the rest of the world right now, people are moving to self-employment. But in South Africa, South Africans don't have the capital to start their own businesses, don't have the idea to start their own business, are not connected, don't have the regulatory licenses and education to do these things. At Dewpoint, we've prepared that entire platform for you for 269 Rand a month. We say, come in and start building your own income, start engineering wealth for yourself. A little income. This is not a couple of grand a month. This is life-changing and potentially unlimited earning. The more time you spend on it, as we talk about 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the more you can change your financial future completely to what it would have been under any other environment at Dewpoint.
I'm listening to how you're talking about how people that have come in on debt review and drowning in debt to not just getting out of it, but moving to even greater financial position. Now, you spoke about from a macro perspective in terms of people looking out from the outside, looking towards Dewpoint. How do I get to see and follow that work that Dewpoint is doing?
Well, again, it's a business that is across the spectrum. We cut across all the demographics of South Africa, from 18-year-olds coming out of matric all the way up to retirees, and across every level of income in South Africa. And the reason and the ability that we have to do that is through our technology. So we broadcast a live introduction presentation on Facebook every Tuesday night at 6:30. So if you want to see us live and get a full-length, 1-hour-long explanation of what Dewpoint is, what you have to do, how you earn, etc., with us every Tuesday night at 6:30 on our Facebook page, Dewpoint Official, you'll be able to watch us there. We also do a public live Q&A session at the end. You can ask any questions you like, and we will answer them on the business every single Tuesday. In addition, you can always follow us on our YouTube channel and on the rest of our Facebook posts. Stay watching us there. That's where you get the best view of us. And then naturally on our website, dewpoint.net, you'll see what's happening there.
I like that because it's especially the fact that it's every Tuesday, it's of creating space and everybody can always be a part of it. It's not like once a quarter that it's kind of limited to a certain number of people. The all-important question, Brendan, is how do I actually join? Now you've got my attention. I want to change my financial status. How do I become a part of what you're doing?
Absolutely. It's the easiest thing in the world. There are now literally tens of thousands of wealth engineers out there at the moment. If you know a wealth engineer, get a hold of them. They'll plug you into the whole process. That's the easiest way. If you don't know one, jump onto our website, dewpoint.net, and you'll be able to read all the information, take a look at the products, take a look at the services, how you earn, etc., and then just click the Getting Started button, and within a few minutes, you will be a wealth engineer with us. Not a single cent having departed your pocket on the day that you become a wealth engineer, and you've got all the facilities at your fingertips. At the end of the application form, it's going to ask you to do 3 things, and I'm begging you to read and do those 3 things. Firstly, download our app. It's free. Put it onto your phone. Then do the training on the app, and then you'll be able to continue to upgrade to products, etc., with us. But go and do the training, understand how Dewpoint works, and start building with us.
And the better you understand it, the better you're able to work it and be able to get more out of
Absolutely.
it.
It's like any career, and we say this to people all the time. When you started at your job, you didn't go, listen, I'm giving this thing 90 days. If I'm not the CEO, I'm not being promoted, I'm out of here. And you'll be amazed at how many people arrive at Dewpoint and go, well, you know what, I'm going to try this for 90 days. If in 3 months' time I'm not making money, I'm out of here. I say to them, well, don't start then. Don't start, because you'll just be disappointed. This is a career choice, which means hard work over time creates the difference. The people that got themselves out of debt review worked hard for a year, some of them for 2 years, some of them for 5 years to get to where they were, but now they're debt free. We've got a lady who's in their 70s who has now has got savings for the first time in her life. She's built this in her 70s. She can see her kids overseas in the UK on money she's making all the time. She's put the time in, and it's got her there. And so again, we often say, don't confuse Dewpoint with other things. Dewpoint is completely unique in the South African perspective. Why? Because it creates an asset that's yours. That asset produces a monthly recurring income, whether you're working on it or not. And it's something that will outlive you. It will be handed over to your family when you pass away one day.
They're able to take it even further than what
they can lift it up and take it from there. What offers you that today in South Africa? People say to me, no, but Brendan, I want a job. And I go, really? A job in the South African context? What? The job is the thing that's put you in the position you're in.
You want to build something that's your own. And at the same time, I think the most important thing that you said that a lot of people can be able to take back is the hope that's been restored in a lot of people's lives of what's possible that they're able to bring out of their hands and their circumstances, and regardless of what they're seeing happening in this nation. Brendan, thank you so much for spending time to be with us this morning, and again enlightening us to possibilities that are out there. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Kosi.
That was Brendan joining us this morning as we take a look look into some of the things that we can do and look again into the future, some of the decisions we can make right now as we prepare for that. All you need to know about Dewpoint, you can find on their website, www.dewpoint.net, and you can even watch them live every Tuesday night. Don't miss it, at 6:30 in the evening on their Facebook page broadcast, and it will bring you up to speed with everything you need to know of what exactly is Dewpoint. What does it look like for me? Is it actually even including me? You'll be sure to get all those questions answered also there. Also, keep an eye out for their ads and start making a different and limitless financial future for yourself with Dewpoint. Who knows? You may well find your own face in one of their ads and telling other people of how well it worked for you. So it's time for us to take back our financial control and become a Dewpoint wealth engineer today. Stay with us. There's so much more coming up right after this.